the wrong side for a female to do that.
So how do I, if I want to, if I know you're not a lawyer and you're also not advocate, an advocacy expert. But is there any remedy? Is there any way I can get the law enforcement agencies to put that person in shape?
Of course, you just have to make sure you are able to know. That's why we are this particular month, the Akwa Ibom State government, I mean, under the watch of the wife of the governor, Patience Umoino herself, and the committee, Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Violence Committee, have put in place these laws, which is the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. We need to have this awareness known to people generally, so that they will have the knowledge that they have the right to be able to present their cases first to the security agencies, which is the police. You have the right to report, make your statements known, so that these persons could be able to pay for their crimes. There are laws backing these crimes.
There have been cases of gender-based violence around campuses. What would you say are the causes of it, and what would you say what would you even say are the causes, and what have been the effects?
Well, from the point of student to student reports, I mean students who have been attacked by fellow students, maybe rape or sexual harassment like that, we have been able to put such students under check of the schools and Center for Gender Studies Management. There are cases already going through the pile, and investigations are also going on right now for those cases. But however, whenever such students are caught, the effects on the victims are quite inexplainable, because I've had a lady who was actually harassed by a fellow student, and she couldn't even complete her studies. She couldn't even explain herself to the management to let them know this is what happened to her. The psychological effect on her was much, so she had to drop out of school. So for such a girl, just one out of maybe 1,000 plus have not been able to finish her school just because she was sexually harassed or raped. So such effect is quite unexplainable.
Okay, so when we talk about gender-based violence, the focus is always on the female more than the male. Just as you explained, have you had any complaints by males concerning this? I've seen males who were traumatized because of this kind of experience when they were not ready for it. But have you really experienced this?
Yes, we had students, especially underage students, maybe those who are between the ages of 13 and 19. Those are teenagers, they are not children, and they are neither adults. So most of the time they are also vulnerable because they cannot speak out. They are afraid. Maybe they have been psychologically brainwashed to say, if you speak out, this is what will happen to you. You'll be killed, or you'll be this, or your parents will be affected, or your family members will be attacked. But definitely it is most of the time children or males under the ages of 13 to 19. For those who are actually grown-up men, it is quite few. So because those ones are actually grown up and they're able to defend themselves one way or the other.
Cool. So is it possible to eradicate gender-based violence around campuses? So how is that?
Well, someone asked that question, like the person actually said, so you didn't even check Keba, you're like that. Well, I must say, if we come to the understanding and intentionally bringing everybody to that discipline, that this is what is expected, especially in the university community, we are able to build a society where everyone stays disciplined. You don't go beyond your boundaries. You should know that this is a community, is a society that should maintain discipline when it comes to sexual morality and all that. So if we have that, it's possible to some extent to eradicate, maybe to not completely, to some extent at least, it will save the community from consistently having reports of our cases of rape and all that. But if to some extent, if it is like the people are not able to actually eradicate, yes, it's possible. It's not, because people keep flocking in from other backgrounds with different ideologies who are not ready to change. You cannot change them immediately, so you have to make room to be able to attack or take care of such situations when it arises?
Gloria Umo is a staff of the University of Uyo. She's also into advocacy against gender-based violence and sexual harassment. We've been talking about gender-based violence, and I know that violence can also be domestic.
Yes.
And then there's also the sexual harassment aspect of it. Let's talk about sexual harassment. What do you categorize as sexual harassment?
Well,
A girl wears near nothing, and a man gets erect and decides, since you have shown me almost everything, I need to see all. Who is culpable?
first, it's quite dicey, but I will try from this as perspective. You as a girl, you've already sold yourself out by doing that, and the man in quote who is already on the high, I will say first you should have self-discipline because definitely there. What if this particular person was not having the intention? Because we have this American tradition, or should I say European tradition, coming in culture.
Gen Z.
The culture is fast taking over the African culture, so that even out there they will say, "Oh, it's cool. You're looking cool. You're looking this." But here in Nigeria, we don't see that as a lifestyle. So let's try and inculcate the culture of knowing that, okay, this is something that is being borrowed. It's a borrowed culture. Let's try and see how we can also condition our mind that this is a new generation where these things are common. And then if we can also have our self-discipline, then we don't just get moved by anything we see. So we don't fall for anything we see.
Okay, let's now you have also brought the issue of influence. To what extent are our generation influenced by Western culture?
A lot. First, from the social media, cyber things are happening on the cyber security and all that. We watch virtually videos from the European countries, the music videos we see on this digital television and all that have been able to expose our generation to such, even children. And we're in a generation where most of the parents are actually dressing their children the same way, making them talk the same way, live the same way. So it's really a lot of influence. So if we can put in more of our culture into our children, it will go a long way to make them understand that yes, we are in this generation, but we also have a responsibility to inculcate the right virtues into the children, so that they will grow up with that understanding. Just like you started with this morning's show, that you should train up a child in the way you should go, and when it's not depart from it. It's just the standard. If we have a tradition, we can also build it into our children, and they will not change from it.
So what do you understand by the policies of the University of Uyo in this regards? Sexual violence and gender-based violence.
Yes, right now, from the report of the director of the Gender Studies, University of Uyo, there is a law that will be passed, that will be signed to protect the students, in fact, staff and the university community who find themselves in such situation. And the policy is generally based on the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. This law will also be inculcated into the university system to protect people from being victimized in gender-based violence.
I heard UFM is planning something, an awareness talk at hall. When, where, how?
Well, this is the, should I say, a coming together of the Student Union Government and the University of Uyo Radio, Uyo FM, and the Center for Gender Studies. Is just something to mark this month's Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Violence Awareness Month, and also to mark the Student Union Government Week, which is also this week. So we are having two events coming together to make this awareness and to make the students and the university community to be knowledgeable and be sensitized to also join in this fight against gender-based violence. and it's coming up on Friday, which is tomorrow, 28th of June. And we'll first have a rally. The rally is to make noise, students dancing and also making their awareness known that this fight can be done and it can be won as well. And without being told, the students are all sensitized and aware of it, and as well as the staff management of the university.
So where is it taking place?
It will start with the rally, which will be in the town campus, Ikpa Road, and the annex campus. Then there will be a convergence at the University of your Convocation Park, where it's an open space under the mango tree, where you have students really rallying around at that time, and it will help them also have some time of excitement, playlets, poetry, drama, and all that.
Okay, so tomorrow by 10 a.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yes.
at
town campus.
Town campus. That's Convo Park.
Yes.
And what I expected there?
We'll be having first the talk by the department head of department, sociology and anthropology department, Dr. Ukomi. He'll be speaking on gender-based violence, sensitization and awareness. And then the Center for Gender-Based Studies Director, Dr. Uyai Akpanabong, will be speaking on sexual harassment in campus, how to manage and causes. And then we'll have a representative from Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Violence Committee, who will be also speaking on the VAP law, to be precise.
Okay. Let's talk about what's your message to the general public in terms of how to protect your girl child, train the male child, because I said something that a rapist, the person who harasses a woman, is an untrained brother to the person that is about to be harassed. So head or tail, imagine, God forbid, my son rapes or harasses your daughter. It simply means that another person's son can harass my own daughter. That means there is something that is missing in a family.
Exactly.
And it has to do with meting out the same training you give to your girl child
to the male child.
To the male child.
Yes.
So what's your talk to the parents now?
Yes, I would just add to what you just said, that it's just the golden rule. Do to others what you want others to do to you. Whatever you know will hurt someone else, don't do it to that person, because it will come back to you. Just like they said, what you do will always come back to you, whether it's good, whether it's bad. So let's have the culture, let's build in that culture where people will protect each other, whether I'm your sister biologically or not. You should see that fellow lady as your own sister. You should see that fellow man as your own brother or son, so I can protect the lives of everyone, and we'll all live in a safe environment, not in an environment where we'll be walking in fear and no freedom. So I believe if we can build that into our lives, and understand that we need to protect and take care of each other, then the world will be a better place.
Okay. Gloria Umo is of the University of Uyo. Uyo FM, they are putting up a campaign against gender-based violence and sexual harassment in partnership with Center for Gender-Based Studies, and then there's a student union government of the university, and the event comes up tomorrow by 8 a.m. at Convo Park. Gloria, thank you very much for coming. And what's the message? Who are the people who have really given the support for this?
Well, I would like to just first appreciate the Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Violence Committee, because they gave us the initiative to take up this responsibility, because we just had the information, and it's a great privilege to be a part of it. And I want to also appreciate the Center for Gender Studies, University of Uyo, because they also gave their support to partner with us in this campaign. And then to the student union governments, the vice president and the body generally, they have been of great support to make sure that this event comes to play. Thank you so much.
Want to leave it here. Gloria, thank you very much for coming. Up next is the press, and I know that Pride Solution is already waiting in the wings to take us on the papers. Gloria?
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
I look forward to bringing you back
Okay.
because this issue is serious and we need to keep talking about it, advocate, and then also enlighten the public on it. Okay, so we break. When we come back, the state of the nation.